start out in the Pacific Northwest. And with that high volume of water, that atmospheric moisture leads to incredible visuals like this. Kiana, I mean, terrifying. Like Snoqualmie and the falls there, beautiful. That's why a lot of people hike. But when you get this much water and rain, it overflows and it creates kind of a chaotic scenario.
It certainly does. I mean, the river flooding and some of the past flooding is going to be one of the top, concerns with this atmospheric river through this week. We have rain that's falling all the way from about now through Friday. So we're really not seeing a break, and we could see more images just like this, if not worse, by the time we get into the end of the week.
Yeah, there's the falls, and it looks like the raging torrent of water. And then you realize all that's going downstream and sadly into communities like this in Snoqualmie, Washington, where effectively they've been cut off, Kiana, and it doesn't really look any better for them until the event comes to an end. And as you and I look at this, that event doesn't really end until the end of the work week. This unsettled pattern just continues to churn for these spots in Washington, even in the high terrain.
Yeah, this atmospheric river, it is literally looks like a fire hose when you look at it on the radar or any type of, satellite image, because there's just this moisture that funnels through time in and time out over the same area. It's really not seeing a break.
And one thing to add to what you just saw is not just the volume of water you're getting right now, but that's falling over snowpack, and that's allowing that to melt, which it leads to that excess. And so what we're talking about is that atmospheric river usually stretches about 1,000 miles. It's this pipeline of moisture that slams into land, and with the orographic lift of the Cascades, you get significant rain.
Yeah, and that's been the case really since about the latter half of the weekend. Looking at where we rate this, because a lot of the atmospheric rivers are rated 1 to 5, this being a 4. So this is an extreme atmospheric river. And this also gives you that image of how this moisture just continues to fuel into some of the same areas time in and time out.
Yeah, you almost see that whip effect where it's kind of going up and down the coast, but you're stuck in that exceptional category. And we showed you some of the visuals, of course, but then you start thinking about all the different rivers. And I tell you what, if I had my option, and when I lived out west, you want to be near the rivers. There's something beautiful about it. It's the outdoors, but that becomes the spot of greatest concern when you have this type of water or rain event coming in.
Yeah, the Puget Sound definitely catching the worst of this. And you can see it here on the future radar too. All of the bright shadings of yellow and orange just indicating the heavier, bouts of rain that are going to come moving through. You took this all the way to Friday. There's still rain, but it's light rain at this point. So from now till about Friday, it's heavy rain that continues to aim towards this area.
And a big thing, if you haven't been out there, you see the ripples here. That's the Cascades. These are mountains that tower about 3,000-4,000 feet. And that entire time, as you were talking about, we were on the rain gauge. We were never entering into the snow gauge or the mix. That was here in the northern Rockies, and just shows you how high the snow levels are. And really, the only chance you're going to get snow is in the interior portion of this on the backside of the systems. But again, that falls on top of already a warm event.
Right, and that just leads to more river flooding. Once all of that rain starts to melt some of that snow that is still there, or the snowpack, you're still dealing with some of those rivers that are really will likely overflow their banks heading into the end of the week. This is a secondary, but I think equally important part of this story.
Yeah, when you start looking at the snow levels, the different passes, people getting out and enjoying that. Also, just the weight of the snow early on in the season, the vulnerability of avalanche risk because of just the weight. But this right here, this tiny needle, that's Mount Rainier. And I know you've been out to Seattle, and you see that. It's gorgeous off in the distance. We were talking about potentially a foot of rain in some of these areas in the mountains. They could get over 100 inches of snow in this event because of how tall Mount Rainier is. Now, when we walk away from all of this, if we can get away with the big concerns like we've seen out of Snoqualmie, it could be good.
It's beneficial. And 79% of the state is in a drought. So we do need all of that moisture. It is, liquid gold, if you will, once we get through this. And then the winds are another part of this story, too. A couple of wind advisories that are up, gusts up to 55 miles per hour.
Yeah, with a saturated surface, that starts, getting the concern, mudslides, power outages as well. We had said the interior portion of the Pacific Northwest, they will get big snow. And that leads us to Fox Weather Ski House. It's going to be back. And our very own Ian Oliver and Bane Froney, they're going to be kicking things off at Big Sky Resort in Montana. That means they're getting fresh pow-pow and a whole lot of open terrain. So make sure to tune in on Wednesday, December 17th at 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on Fox Weather.